Hi, I'm Roamy. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Beco Toddler Carrier to carry your child on your front. Now, the Beco Toddler Carrier tends to fit from once your child's around 2.5 years old, so it's quite a big carrier. I'll show you how to check that your child is fitting it correctly and that they're not too little for it in a bit. So here I've got the toddler carrier. I've just got a label here. I'm going to fold that over and put it on my hips, generally is the comfortable position, and then clip it together. And then wriggle these sideways to tighten it up. Now obviously it depends on how tall you are and how tall your child is as to where you want to sit the carrier. Obviously because we're working with an older child here, for most women you're likely to want to wear it on your hips. For men, particularly those who are a bit taller, they may want to wear it a little bit higher, but it depends on what you feel comfortable with and what feels right with your child. So I've just sat this down on my hips here and I want it sitting level front to back. So a good way to do that is tighten it up just above where you want it to sit, and then slide it down into position, because then it'll be nice and snug and it will sit level. Check that it's sitting evenly here, so you've got the same amount of fabric either side. Once you've got that on, you can pick up your child. Now the demo doll I've got here is a bit small. It's the largest demo doll I have, and it's meant to be around 9 to 12 months old size. So I'll show you with this doll why they are a little bit small, but it will work for the purposes of the video. So I'm just holding my child with their head on my chest, and their legs would generally tend to wrap around like this. So hold them in a position you're comfortable with. You can let their bottom sink really quite low. So the taller they are, the lower their bottom can go. Ideally, if you can have their head on your chest so you can still see over them, that's great. So hold them and check that you're comfortable with where they are. Check that they're fairly even either side. When you're happy with where they're held, slide one hand under the base of the carrier and just stroke it up over their bottom and back so you're holding them with the material. One strap goes over one shoulder and the other strap goes over the other. Then what you're going to do is reach round and take hold of the strap on the opposite side, so like this. You're going to put it straight down to hold your child nice and secure against you, and once you've got them secure, then bring the strap round and it's going to bring their arm over the top, feed it through the elastic here and clip it in there. Now get this side nice and secure before we do the second one. So I'm just going to bring any slack around here and tighten it up like this. We're then going to repeat exactly the same for the other side. So hold your child with your other hand, bring their hand up there, and you reach round, bring the strap straight down, bring it round, feed it through the elastic and clip it together. And then again, any slack, bring it round here so they're nice and snug, and then tighten it up. Now the reason you bring the slack round is if you just tighten here, what you're doing is then trying to lift your child with the webbing while you're tightening it, and what it'll do, it'll be really, really hard to pull, and it will also just pull their stomach in towards you rather than bringing the straps around. If you find you need to do any more tightening, just bring the strap up and over your shoulder so any loose stuff comes around like that, and then again tighten it up. So always bring the loose material as close to the buckle as you can before tightening. Now the key checks with an older child are, you want to check that you can see their face and they've got clear airways. So you want the carrier going no higher than the nape of their neck. So it's just about okay with this doll, but you don't want it any higher than there to make sure they've got clear air circulation. You also want to make sure it's no lower than their armpits. So they're very welcome to have arms out over the top if they want, and a lot of children will like that, but make sure it's still at least to their armpits. If they're to lean, they're still held nice and snug. So that's the first thing, check how high the carrier is. Secondly, check they're held as tightly as holding them in your arms. So the easiest way to check that is just go to cuddle them. If you feel you need to lift them, then just tighten it up so the carrier is holding them as tightly as you would do if you were holding them in your arms yourself. Final thing to check is just have a check of their position here. You want the same amount of leg coming out on either side. And if you remember earlier, I said that this doll is a bit small. And the reason for that is the carrier is going beyond their knee. So you want the fabric to come no further than their knee pits. You ideally want it to go from one knee to the other. Now with this doll, I've just been able to scrunch the fabric in a little bit to make it a little bit more, fit a bit better. But you want it to come to the knee so the lower leg can swing freely. So it's going from one knee pit to the other with their bottom ideally lower than their knees. If you want to get more of a lower position with their bottom, just put your hands inside and give a little tilt and just bring their knees up So you're doing that sort of movement to curve their knees up, curl their bottom around so their bottom is sitting lower in the carrier. That's pretty much it. I mean, check these straps are feeling nice and comfy on your shoulders. If you have pulled them straight down snug before bringing them across, they should be sitting comfortably and not be digging into your neck. But if you have found they've got into your neck, just bring them a little bit wider and reach around and just bring this across a little bit lower, and that will help to keep the straps in a nice comfortable position here. Try it out with your child. If you find it's a little bit niggly or anything on your back, just try it very slightly higher or very slightly lower. Really little adjustments in the height can make a really big difference to how comfortable it feels. So try it in different positions and different heights. And that's basically it. So to take your child out, we're just going to reverse what we've done. Undo the clip and feed it back through the elastic, and do the same on the other side, keeping one arm around your child the whole time. Then just bring the straps over your shoulders and down, and then you can lift your child out. And that's how to use the Beco Toddler to carry your child on your front.